So, Aquaman is now in theaters, and this is the latest film from the DCEU. It is obviously the origin story of Aquaman, as well as a standalone film. It is not really connected to the other films in the DCEU, much in the same way as Wonder Woman. Now, this film, I was very mixed about going into it because I am a big James Wan fan. I did really like the Conjuring films. Insidious was good. Insidious 2, eh. And then the Fast and Furious movie he did was, eh. So some of his work was hit or miss, but for the most part, I have liked his work. And I was curious because, again, I know him as a horror director. So to see his work in a superhero genre, I was like, you know what? I give him props because many directors just stay in their niche. So I was curious. And I have to say that his directing was neat. I liked his camera work. There was a lot of tracking shots. And in a big blockbuster, it was very surprising, especially a CGI heavy blockbuster such as this one. It was very unique to see, and I really liked it. I thought the action was also filmed pretty well for the most part. For the most part, again. The acting is also very fun. You know, you can tell these actors are just really hamming it up and as if they're in some 1980s action movie, which, let's face it, this movie is pretty much a throwback to 1980s action films. In every single way. There is so much 80s. This is arguably one of the most 80s films that wasn't in the 80s. Special effects, there is definitely a lot of CGI, and if you're able to get on board with the overabundance of it, I think you'll enjoy it. It reminded me a lot of like Tron Legacy, where I personally was able to get on board with that film, but I know a lot of people that weren't. And I think that's the best comparison because this film has a lot of CGI, and some of it is noticeable. And when I say some of it's noticeable, I mean that you can tell everything's CGI, but there are some scenes where it's more noticeable than others. So it really is up to preference. The performances are fun. It's very 80s-ish. I think that it goes by real fast. It doesn't really feel like the runtime that it is. What doesn't work, though? Well, I think when you have an actor like Patrick Wilson, who's a great actor, he plays the villain in the film, I think you should definitely utilize him more. And I just felt like he wasn't utilized enough. This is a great actor. And James Wan knows that, which is why it's very curious as to why he didn't use him even more. I also just felt that the film, whilst he has the lead performance, but Jason Momoa is good, I just thought that there was like a lot of hamming it up, and I get it that they're trying to steer away from the darkness that was like, Batman v Superman and, Man of Steel, but at the same time, it's like, do your own thing, and I just felt like they were trying too hard because don't get me wrong, I get it. A lot of people would find this silly, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like if you're going to go on the 80s whole thing, some of the best 80s films were like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they were able to take themselves seriously for the most part, whilst at the same time still having that wholesome serialness that was of the 40s. I think this film definitely could have shed away some of the humor because some of it didn't work. That was my biggest thing. I thought that their attempt at humor sometimes it was like cringy, Also, the ending was just kind of like, okay. I mean, it's a standalone film, and I think that this is an incomplete film. When I say an incomplete film, I mean that I just felt like there's like 6 different stories in this film. 6 different genres almost that they're just trying to mesh together, and it's as if they like put it in a blender, but then they forgot to like actually blend it all the way, and they pulled the plug, and it was like, okay, because there's so much going on, and I like busy films, I really do. But when it's a busy film that isn't really cohesive and ambitious, it's kind of like, eh. But overall, I still enjoyed Aquaman. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this film. I think it's definitely a solid film, and I think DC fans, especially Aquaman fans, will enjoy this film. Marvel fans, you guys can hop on board too, because there is a lot of humor in this, and it has all that like tongue-in-cheekness of Marvel films. So, you guys can hop on board too. So overall, I think this is a film that everyone can enjoy. It's very tame. And yeah, I'll be giving Aquaman a 3.5 out of 5-star rating, which is like a hot sauce letter grade. It's the good old Texas Pete rating. So that's my, review obviously for Aquaman. Short, sweet, to the point, of course, spoiler free. But I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this film. Did you guys like it? Did you not? Do you think it was very, resourceful with its ambitions? So let me know your thoughts again in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys.